Okay, so I thought I'd give you a day break from the whiteboard, and I'm going to do these study guide problems so you can see the answers. You don't need to respond to this video. It's just so that you can check your answers going into the test tomorrow. So let's do these. These are PEMDAS, so you got to follow order of PEMDAS. And so we'll go over here, 28 divided by 7 plus 4 times 2. So make sure you do the division first here. That's going to be 4 plus 4 times 2. You can go ahead and do the multiplication if you want to go ahead and do that on the second step, but you have to do it before the addition, and then you just add 4 plus 8, which is 12. Okay, number 2 was 3 minus 1 in the parentheses divided by 2 plus 6 divided by 2. Okay, so you have to do the parentheses first. And then you're going to have to do the division. Now you can do both divisions at once. Okay, because even if you did this one and then waited to do this one, you're just doing them both before you do the addition. And then at the end you add and you get 4. Okay? Number 3 is a grouping inside of a grouping. So work your way into the innermost first. So it's going to be 3 plus 4 times 3. Okay, and that means you're done in this group. You're still inside a larger group. And then you have to do your multiplication, and then you can add. Okay. One last one here. This mixes in some exponents. Okay, so inside the parentheses you also have to follow PEMDAS. So we're going to do our exponent first. Okay, then you got to get out of the parentheses. Okay, and then you can do your exponent out on the end if you want to. Now, like I said, there's ways to skip steps as long as you're still doing them in order. Like if you want to go ahead and do the division and the exponent at the same time and save a step, that's fine, but you just can't add until you're completely at the end here to get 29. Okay, the simplify ones, you're not solving. There's nothing to solve for. There's no equal signs yet. So you're just working your way down, combining the terms that you can. So like I can combine 7x squared minus 3x squared and get 4x squared. That's 7 minus 3. 2x minus 5x is negative 3x, because 2 minus 5 is negative 3. And then you're left with the plus 8 at the end. I'm having to do these through the screen, so my handwriting is even worse than the whiteboard, which is pretty amazing actually, that it can get even worse. But let's go to this one here. You can combine the y squared and the y squared, and you get 10y squared. There is no other x squared. There is no other x. Can't combine these because one's a squared and one's not. And then negative 2 plus 8 is a positive 6. Okay, negative 2 plus 8, you're negative 2 in the whole, and you go 8 in the direction of the positive, so you end up with positive 6. Okay, this last one here of combining like terms before we get to distribution. You can combine the 10xy and the 2xy, so 10 minus 2 is 8xy. These are separate than the x and y's by themselves because you can't combine an x with an xy, okay? You can combine the 4x and the 5x, which is 9x. And you can combine the negative 7y plus 8y, which becomes just a positive y, 1y. I'm not going to put the 1 because that means there's 1y. Negative 7 plus 8 is 1. And then negative 8 minus another 3 puts you at negative 11. Okay. All right, now if you get to these, you're still simplifying. That's why I left it under the simplify, because you're still not solving. There's no equal sign. So, but you do have to distribute. So 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. That is an x. 5x minus 10. And then you do not combine those two. That's the most common mistake I see among students is they'll, especially when you get towards the end of the class, maybe on a final, I see students want to combine these, make it like negative 5x or something. You cannot combine these two. Okay? Same thing here to distribute, 6x squared, that's 6, and then x squared, x times x, and then negative 14x. 2x times negative 7 is negative 14x. Can't lose the x. Okay. This one here, you get 8y cubed. That's 4 times 2 is 8. Y times y squared is y cubed, because remember this is a y to the first power. So 1 plus 2. It's like y times y times y. This is y times y right here. So it's y times y times y, which is y cubed. And then 4 times negative 1. Remember there's a negative 1 right here. So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Y to the first times y to the first is y squared. And then 4y times 8 is positive 32. That's 8 times 4. And then just a single y, because there was no y here. All right? All right, 11 and 12 I had together because one's a plus of polynomials and one's a minus. So let's do the plus one first. First thing you can do is take this first set out of the parentheses, because there is nothing to, this was in parentheses, there's nothing to combine in here. So you can go ahead and take it out of the parentheses. And then because it's a plus sign after that, you keep all the signs the same. That's a positive 2x squared, that's a negative 4x, that's a negative 3. Everything on here stays the same. Positive 2x, negative 4x, negative 3. Now you go through and see what you can combine. 4x squared plus 2x squared. Negative 3x and negative 4x. And 7 minus 3. Okay. Number 12, once again, you can take out the first set out of its parentheses. Nothing changes. You're not distributing anything. Now, because this is a minus, and you've got everything in here, you're going to change every sign in here. So this is becoming a negative 4y squared, a negative 7y, and a positive 2. So we need to write that, negative 4y squared, negative 7y, and a positive 2. Now you can combine 2y squared minus 4y squared is negative 2y squared. 2 minus 4. Negative 10y minus 7y is negative 17y. And negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. So that's adding polynomials, subtracting polynomials. And it's still just simplifying, not solving. Okay, there's no equal sign. Then we get into multiplying some monomials and some binomials. Okay, so this one you just add the exponents, y to the 6. This one you multiply the coefficients, 3 times 4. X times x squared is x cubed. Okay. 15, a binomial times a binomial. Okay, we have to distribute both. We have to distribute both of these terms, this term to these, and this term to these. So 2x times 4x is 8x squared. 2x times 5 is 10x. Okay, that's distributing that one to both. And then this one, negative 2 times 4x is negative 8x. And negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. The last thing to do is check and see if you can combine anything. You can. You can combine the 10x minus 8x. Get 2x. And that's your answer. This is a 10 here at the end. Okay. Then you've got this one, which I'll rewrite here so you can see my first step. This is the one that I said, okay, it's written like this, but you can square it manually. Okay, this times itself. So this whole thing times itself. Now it becomes a problem like this. Okay, so you're going to do x times x, which is x squared, x times -3, which is -3x. That's distributing that term. Then this one is -3 times x, which is -3x, and -3 times -3, which is +9. You can combine these two. Okay. That's a 9 here at the end. Okay. Then we got a binomial times a trinomial. That was number 17. There's just no way to jazz up math terms like binomial and trinomial. I need to write a musical for it and try to like sing it or something. I've got musical on the brain because I've been watching Greatest Showman. That was the first time I've seen it, so now I've watched it like 3 times. But anyway, all right. So let's do 4x times 7x squared, which is 28x cubed. 4x times -2x, which is -8x squared. And 4x times +5, that is a plus. 4x times +5 is 20x. Okay, that was distributing this one to each term. Now we're going to do the -2. -2 times 7x squared. -2 times -2x. And -2 times +5. Okay. And it looks like we can combine a couple things. We can combine this -8x squared and -14x squared. Go -22x squared. Right? This couldn't combine with anything. -8 minus another 14 is -22. 20x plus 4x is 24x. And then we just have then -10 at the end. Okay. And then the last one was a binomial times a binomial. And let me just turn this over. Can't do that with a whiteboard. 2y squared minus 4y, and then 5y minus 7. Okay, so 2y squared times 5y is 10y cubed. 2y squared minus 7 is -14y squared. And that's distributing this term to both of these. Then this one is -4 times -4 times 5y is -20y squared. And -4y times -7 is +28y. And then we can combine these two terms. So 10y cubed minus 34y squared. -14 minus 20 is -34. And then just the 28y. Okay, so like I said, there's nothing to do on this video to comment or anything. This is on your off day. I just wanted to give you the answers to your study guide and go through and have you check if you want to, give you peace of mind to know you did them right, to scare you a little bit if you know you did them wrong, but hopefully you're seeing where you made your mistakes and you can correct them. And then just be watching for the test tomorrow. It'll be another photo like the study guide was, and you'll do your test. All right, thanks guys.